was was activity only to we do, or do you will we discuss about it
Ah,
the
the homework.
yeah.
Oh no, we're going to discuss to correct.
uh, okay,
Yeah,
thanks.
welcome. So we have May 25th, we have the celebration of Africa Day. So we're going to discuss if this date is important or not in your opinion. So what is the importance of words Africa Day? If this date is necessary, what is your opinion about this celebration? So this is the topic we're going to discuss, and I'm going to check your opinion about this. So first, we are talking about this date, May 25, and World Africa Day. In school, did the teachers talk to you about World Africa Day at school? Did you have any school activity about this day, or no? Nobody mentioned this day when you were students.
Nobody mentions.
Nobody.
And nobody. My time, nobody. And that moment, I, I've, I've come, I've made something in the school because of the federal laws, 10.639, 11.645,
Ah, mhm,
so important in in the school. But these laws has 21 years
mhm,
in our country, and these laws um, warranty uh, warranty aren't
mhm.
discuss with responsibility in the school
That's right.
until today.
Fantastic. I agree. That's right. And for Black people, do you think it is important to talk about Africa Day?
I think so important thing. Uh, I think so important to speak about days, about celebrating our histories,
Mhm.
because in our culture is so racist, and we need to speak so much. Um, we need to bring both these these reflections
Mhm.
in the our conversations in the some classes and or whatever.
Okay. Yeah. So that's the idea, yeah, of this discussion, to talk about the importance of this day and how we can stimulate the society in this discussion. Yeah, because normally people don't talk about this, we don't discuss about these days, and this is not a topic in Brazilian schools, and the teachers don't feel comfortable to talk about this. And then we have the story about this day. So this day is commemorated every May 25th. So
Mhm,
that's the day when we observe
mhm.
Africa Day. And it is a Pan-African celebration. So
Deixar. Mhm.
exactly. So the Pan-African is an idea that we are all Africans because we are all from Africa. All the Black people in Brazil are from Africa. So that's the principal idea of the Africa Day celebration. Yeah. So, um, in number three, promoting solidarity. So, promotion the unity of Africans in all the different countries. So, my question is: do you have an African friends? Do you have Senegalese friends, Beninese friends, Somali friends. Do you have any friends from African continent?
I have, teacher. I have in Niger.
Ah, Nigerian.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Do you have too, Sabrina?
Yeah, I have in São Tomé, Príncipe,
Oh,
and uh, mm, São Tomé e Príncipe, de Angola,
Uh-huh.
and I forgot the name, but
Mm-hmm.
it's the other country. I I know these friends in my university or in projects, outra e em travel.
Okay. So in your university, there are African students.
Yeah,
Excellent. Uh-huh. And do they speak Portuguese language?
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
They speak in English with sotaque português.
okay.
Yeah, de Portugal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, excellent. Very, very good. Okay. So here we have this discussion about the importance of Africa Day here in Brazil and the impact of this day for Brazilians. So this is the topic of reflection, if this day is important for us Brazilian, or if this day is not so relevant in Brazil. So this is the discussion that we are uh, promoting in our class today. Now we have the next slides with a different discussion at different points. Let me change here. Okay, so here it is. Historical significance of this. So the Organization of African Units was in 1963. So this idea of Black people have to be together regardless, independent of the nationality, the language, the ethnic group. If you are Black, you have to connect with other Black people. So that's the basic idea of Pan-Africanism. So do you believe, people, in this idea? Does it make sense to you that you should be together with other Black people, or no? You will only be together with people you are friends with, of people you sympathize, you become intimate, and not just because of the skin color. What do you think about this idea of African unity?
Mm.
Any opinions?
I think so important, Professor, because in our country have a political to separate us. So have a day, we need conversation about us, about our ancestors, our history is so important to have this moment, to have the moment to be together, at least. I think so important. So we know also that the white people create situations that where this moment or moments for this don't happen in our culture because the institutions are mechanisms to maintain racism. So when we create a situation, moment where can speak about us, speak about ancestors, and speak about history is so important for me.
Wow, that's very good. And another point that it's good to think about is that in Brazil we have Chinese communities, Japanese,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Italian communities, but
Mm-hmm.
African communities, yeah, in the
Mm-hmm.
in the city. So it's important to have this stimulation, yeah. And do you have any group of Black people? Do you have any, I don't know, social club or any institution, organization, or space where you get together with other people? Do exist any space like this in your life?
Yeah.
In the last class, I tell you, I lawyer. So between us, no. I'm work in an organization. His name is the Black Woman Decide. It's only Black women discussing about politics, about parliament, where you need to do for have Black women and politics and the power and the state and the government. So yeah, I work in this place, I don't know, in this movement, the Black Woman Decides.
Excellent.
Me too.
You too.
Me too. I coordinate a collective, black collective.
Wow.
Art in the schools, applicated the laws 10.639/0. 11.645/08 in the school.
Amazing. Wow, fantastic. Okay. Do we have more Black groups in the list? So we have two groups of Black people. Wow, that's nice. And that's the idea of the African Day, is an idea to stimulate Black people to be together, because we live in a racist country. So if the country is racist, we have to promote our social groups, our affection, our friendship, our solidarity. Yeah, and that's the idea behind the word Africa Day. So it's really nice to see this discussion here, and it's really positive. Okay, then next point, we have the second idea, the second discussion idea in this material. That is the first time they observed this date of World Africa Day was in 1964. Wow, so a long time ago. It was 50 years ago, 50 or 6 years ago, yeah, 6 years ago, a long time ago, the first time it was observed. So it's a very old celebration. So do you celebrate, people, the World Africa Day on May 25th?
No, unfortunately, no.
Oh, no.
Because I don't know this date.
You don't know. You don't know.
I didn't.
You don't know. You don't know how to celebrate. Let me check. Can you hear me? Because my computer is frozen.
Yes, teacher, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect.
Teacher.
Yeah, my computer was frozen. So you said that you do not celebrate World Africa Day. Is that correct? No celebration?
Me here.
I celebrated one time, but the last years I don't celebrate because I was working in the day and I couldn't to celebrate it.
Okay. That's right. Perfect. Then next point, let's see, next page here. Oh no, we have point number 3 in the presentation. So the third point, the third discussion point here after the first celebration in 1964 is the name change, a change of the name, because it was African Organization of African Units. The name changed to Organization of African Unity, transforms in African Union, because they believe that all Africans, not only in the continent of Africa, but for example, Africans in Puerto Rico, Barbados, Trinidad, Tobago, Jamaica, Brazil, in all the countries, they should get together because they are one family, only one African Union. So this is the idea, the purpose of this celebration. Yeah, so it's really, wow, it's a very beautiful notion of unity with Black people. Yeah, so it's really important to have these dates of celebration. Then, let me change to the next slide. Let me check. My connection is a little bit...
There are these celebrations in Brazil, because I don't listen about that.
Some groups do celebrate these dates. We have small groups in São Paulo, small groups in Rio de Janeiro, small groups in Bahia, they have small groups. Minas Gerais, they have some groups too. So, but they are not big, and they are not institutional. For example, they don't have any support from the government, for example. So people normally don't know about these movements, yeah, but they exist. And normally they use the internet to promote their events. They use Instagram, Facebook, yeah, so that's what they use to promote their reunions. Okay, so next, impact. Now let's talk about Brazil, the impact on Brazilian identity. So here we have three ideas, 3 points of impact of African units in Brazilian identity. So you connect yourself to your roots, to your origins. For example, last year, I took a DNA test. I took a DNA test by Genera Institutes. Let me put here in the... Okay, let me try to write. Yeah. So last year, I took a DNA test by Genera Institutes. Do you know Genera Institutes?
Yeah.
Okay, so I took...
I did also.
Ah, you did too. That's great. So I took this DNA test and I discovered that I come from the Bantu people, the area of Nigeria. So my people are the Yoruba people. So I discovered this from this DNA test by Genera Institute. So this is one example of connecting yourself to the roots, connecting yourself to your origins. Yeah, so DNA tests can be one situation, but not only DNA tests. For example, you can consult your Odus in the Ifa house. You can join capoeira groups to reconnect to Black people. You can go to the Samba Roots, exactly, Marianne. You can go to the Samba Roots groups to reconnect to Black people, and again, talk about your stories, your origins, your people, your music, your foods, your clothes, your traditions. And you can also, for example, go to Jongo festivals as well. Here in Rio de Janeiro, we have different Jongo groups in Madureira, in the downtown Rio. You have many areas where people still cultivate African tradition in music, in sports, in festivals. So, do you connect to African roots by what you do, what you eat, what you listen, what you wear, where you go? Do you have any connection to African roots in your life?
I connected, teacher.
Oh, how?
I am candomblé.
Wow.
I like so much jongo.
Uh-huh.
I practice capoeira.
Wow.
I practice cavalo marinho.
What is this?
Cavalo marinho is a art, Pernambuco art, diasporic Pernambuco art in our country. And this artist called this manifestation of brinquedo.
Toy.
Toy, yeah, toy. And this toy have 8 hours. So this toy start 6 a.m., 6 p.m., and finishing 6 a.m.
Wow.
The other day. The all night. So incredible. So marvelous. And beyond this, I did also Genera Institute, Genera DNA, and I discovered that my ancestors is I have a Nigeria part and Bantu part, and I have also people or indigenous
people.
Indigenous people
Wow.
also. So beyond this, I talk so much with the masters of diasporic masters in our diasporic culture. I like so much.
Okay, so remember that in English, the pronunciation is cultures, okay?
Cultures, okay, cultures.
Yeah, we don't say culture, but cultures.
Culture. Okay,
culture. And in English, we have 2 words for além. You have beyond, and you have besides. Beyond and besides. So what's the difference between beyond and besides? So beyond is a physical word. For example, when you go to the subway station, you have a yellow line in the floor, and you cannot cross that yellow line. So you cannot go beyond the yellow line. It's a physical line. But if you're talking about your experiences, for example, I listen to music, I listen to Nigerian music, I practice capoeira, and besides that, I took the Genera DNA test. So besides is metaphorical, beyond is physical.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Different. Welcome. Okay, anybody else is connected to the roots, African roots?
Teacher, after I tell about that, can you share the link about the book here for I see when you write, please?
Oh, yes, of course. Let me get the link.
Oh, thank you. When I think the things I connect my roots, I think in the Black woman's side, because I recognize when a Black woman and a less, more or less time. And when I listening the old women talk about the life, the experience, the religion, I'm connect because the more part of my life, I'm very connected only white people in the school, in the church. So when I into the movement, I know a new world, a new hairstyles, the mouth, the eyes, the color for skin. It's very amazing for me. Look that and recognize. I see for myself and the many women stay in this movement, and so I connecting my roots in this moment.
Excellent. Yeah, it's a very beautiful process. That's right. Excellent. Thank you very much for sharing. This is the link for the Quilombo Conversation class notes I put here in the chat. And the other note, the other link is the link to the attendance list for me to see who is present today. So attendance list is the second link. Okay. So you just need to write your full name in the link so that I can know who was present. Yeah. Okay. Isabella, did you raise your hand, Isabella?
Yes, I'm connecting for my group for research about racism, gender, and capitalism. This group is university, and my master in São Carlos. In group of pagode.
Excellent. Okay, that's right. So let's take a look in the pronunciation here. So the first words in English you say research, okay?
Okay,
So,
research.
Excellent. Not the Z sound, S sound, research.
Research.
Excellent. Research.
Thank you.
And then you have capitalism. In the end, we say ism. Let me put in parentheses here the sound. Ism. Capitalism.
Capitalism.
Excellent. Capitalism. So research, race, gender, and capitalism. Yeah?
Yeah, thank you.
Perfect. So repeat. Research, race, gender, and capitalism.
Research and race and capitalism.
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 Okay, so let's try again. Research, race, gender, and capitalism.
Research, race, gender, and capitalism.
Excellent. That's right. That's it. Perfect. Anybody else would like to talk about how you connect to your African roots? No? Sabrina, Lisandro? Okay. Let's move on. Second point, cultural reclamation. Do you know this word, reclamation? People, reclamation is different from complain. Reclamar in English is complain. Complain, reclamar. Reclamation in English is reappropriate, regain, return, okay? It's a different idea. Reclamation is when you get back, yeah? You regain access, control, and possession. This is to reclaim in English, reclamation. So festivals showcase African traditions, music. So one of the examples is the Africa Day Festival in São Paulo, some places, Rio, some places. Another example is on the 26th of December, you have the Kwanzaa celebration. So Kwanzaa is another example of a Black festivity where people celebrate 6 African principles of Umoja, Kujichagulia, Ujima, Ujama, units, what else? Nia, purpose, Umba, creativity, and Imani, faith. Exactly, Afropunk is a good example, Marianne, of Black celebration. In Rio, we have Batiku celebration too. That is a party that many people come. It's lots of people. It's a festival too nowadays, and we have others. Yeah, so it's very interesting to see this cultural movement around Black culture. I remember that when Beyonce came to Brazil and didn't have any events in Rio or São Paulo, but went straight to Bahia, many people were shocked to see, oh my God, why didn't you go to São Paulo? Why didn't you go to Rio? That are the financial capitals of the country, but she went to the Black capital. So it was very emblematic and symbolic. Yeah. And then we have the third idea, empowerment, strengthen pride and self-acceptance within the Black community. So one example of empowerment is when you reclaim an African name for yourself. There are many scholars, Black scholars, who stimulate, encourage us to have Black names. For example, Dr. Molefi Kati Asante, he worked on the concept of Afrocentricity, which means we should put our ideas in the center of African culture. So Dr. Asante says that we have an European name because a Portuguese person violated our ancestors. And that's the only reason why we have Spanish names, Portuguese names, French names. It's because of a violation, because of violence. So, in his opinion, it is perfectly natural for us to reclaim our African names, go to a court, and change our names. So many people are doing this. I have friends that used to be Aguinaldo, and now his name is Kumani. Used to be Silvana, and now her name is Dandara. Many people are doing this. It's a beautiful process as well. And Obirin, exactly, she's another example. I did this too in the past. The first time I read Dr. Honoko Rashid, that it's another scholar, another Black scholar, very popular in Brazil. He said that because our Portuguese name or European name was given to us completely randomly or without any connection to our ancestry, it is perfectly natural for us to adopt a name we believe in, a name that we feel connected to. So I did this, and I remember that I decided that my name should be Quadro Heru, and then I adopted this name. I made a lot of African friends all over the internet, and it was really beautiful, this movement of getting to know more and more Black people. So I made this Facebook account for me to get together with those people. There are lots of Facebook groups where you can talk to Africans. So I have many of those groups. And then I have this profile on Facebook to get together with my African brothers and African sisters. So I really encourage this movement because it's really beautiful. Now, let's move on to the next reflection of our Africa Day class, challenges for Black Brazilians. So what are the difficult points? First, racial discrimination. For example, having a Black partner, a Black boyfriend, or a Black girlfriend, or a Black husband, or a Black wife doesn't symbolize status in Brazil. What symbolizes status is to have a blonde girlfriend, a blue-eyed girlfriend, or a white boyfriend, green-eyed boyfriend. So many people have this tendency to sometimes prefer to connect to white people to show how much status they got. Yeah, so the racial discrimination is one of the challenge, one of the difficulties to reclaim this African identity. Another point is the cultural erasure. So we don't find the connection to our culture. One example is this Africa Day. Where can you go this Saturday, the day after tomorrow, to celebrate Africa Day? Most people don't know. Where? We don't see this on television. We don't listen about this on school. University, nobody talks about this. So how can you know where you should go to celebrate World Africa Day if nobody is talking about this? So this is a reflection point. Yeah, there is an erasure. Do you know this word, erasure? Erasure. Yeah, that's apagamento important. Yeah, exactly. Apagamento cultural, cultural erasure. We don't have connection to our African cultures. And the third point is the under-representation. We have nobody to represent us. If you talk about Black family, people have only one example to give you. Everybody talks about Lázaro Ramos and Thais Araújo. So you don't have many examples of Black families, Black women in power in Brazil. If you look at television, for example, you have Xuxa, Angélica, Ana Maria Braga. You have only white, Black, blonde women. You don't have a Black woman on a big channel with her TV show. Yeah, we have some participations, but I'm talking about having their show. I know that, for example, Isa participated in that music show, but I'm not talking about participation. I'm talking about their show, like Hebe Camargo had, for example, or I don't know, Xuxa, Angélica, or any of those women. So you don't have one Black woman with her show, and this is very problematic because in Brazil, 56% of the population is Black. So we should have more representation. So these are the three principal tension points that in Brazil are challenges. So my question for you is, in your opinion, which of these three is the biggest problem for us to change in the Brazilian scenario?
The first point.
Wow.
Because when you talk about that, the another is reflection in this first. When can you understand?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, when have racial teacher, can you help me?
Racial discrimination.
Is discrimination, racial discrimination. There are cultural racial, there are representation. I said here in the chat, the politics is the same when the partidos, how do you say partidos políticos?
Political parties.
Political parties, the leaders, everything in the base have racial discrimination, in my opinion.
Yeah, perfect. So,
in my opinion, to this one point, because the racism, the racial discrimination, hierarchy, the peoples, the people, and
Mhm. I agree. So that there is a racial discrimination that makes a hierarchy among people. Yeah, and I think Frantz Fanon talks about this, that people are symbolically different. So the Black people have a smaller, let's say, symbolic importance in comparison to a white person. So nobody is interested in Black culture, for example. If you talk about Africa Day tomorrow with your friends, people will have no idea that Africa Day is celebrated on May 25. Not because they are ignorant, but because Brazilian culture doesn't talk about those dates that are connected to African culture. People don't talk about it. School, church, university, companies. So there is a complete ignorance process, yeah, about these days. So political party in English can be celebration, and party can be partido too. So partido político, political party. Okay. We don't have a Black political party, for example, and this is important to have Black representation in politics. We have left wing, huh?
And last year begin this idea, the political party. It's only Black people's organization, this idea. But teacher, I don't know when I say that. Let me think. I know, in my opinion, it's very problematic when we defined the political party only for Black people, because we need have a space, and every organization. If Black people's concentration, I don't know, this was concentration in the only political party, we have many chains for, I don't know what say this word.
Apartheid.
No, cultural reserve. Yeah, if in Brazil you have the only political party for the Black people, have many times for the apagamento. I know, it's my opinion. We need stay in many organizations, because I feel afraid for that. How do you say apagamento mesmo?
Erasure.
Erasure.
Yes.
Erasure.
Erasure. So
I think that this happened because the system doesn't create it for us. This system was created white people. So we live in mechanism white people. We live in industrious white people. Company white people. So I think that we need to create our space, because in ancestral history, we have Black organizations strange, Quilombo dos Palmares, Quilombo do Urubu. So at the moment, these organizations are destroyed white people, because white people don't want we have our spaces, our intellectuality, our opinion, our at least. So I think that we need to change this idea to representation, or to be or to be in these places, white people. We need to create our our spaces. And we are doing this at the moment, for example.
Wow, that's beautiful. Yeah, powerful. Isabella, did you raise your hands?
In my vision, this is complex
Yeah.
because racial discrimination also in the political parties. This is complex.
Yeah. And for example, Hélio Bolsonaro and Fernando Holliday and these people, they are Black and they are not progressists. Yeah, they are conservationists. So they are traditionalists. So a party based only in the skin color doesn't necessarily mean that we will have a consensus, yeah, in order to promote Black unity, for example. I remember that guy who was the president of Fundação Palmares. He said that Princess Isabel saved us, that she was a hero. It's crazy. I forgot his name. So that guy is a perfect example that being Black doesn't necessarily mean consensus or similarity in ideas. Yeah, so I agree with this idea of the Black political party is not necessarily a solution. Yeah, for us, it's a really complex situation. Okay, so next reflection point for us is this: fostering unity and community, because this is a Black principle. Unity, umoja, and community, ujima. So first, celebration of culture, African music, African dance, African cuisines. People, do you have any recommendation of African music, African dance, or African food gastronomy for us? What do you like?
I like it. Chila. I don't know if this pronounce is correct.
What is the name?
Chila. T. Y. Y. I don't know.
Why?
Y. Yeah. Tyla.
And what is that?
She she's a pop singer.
Ah,
She
singer.
yeah, yeah. And the other singer I like it is Cold Jazz.
Mm,
COD. No,
mhm.
COLD. Space JAS.
Okay, excellent.
I like very much Mateus Aleluia.
Yeah. He's very good too.
Okay, yeah. And what is his style?
I don't know. This
No,
unique.
yeah,
Ah,
the same no MPB. The same, I
okay.
think.
Yes.
Perfect. That's right. And then you have the roots activism, so organizations that have education initiatives, for example, to promote African culture at schools, African cultures in organizations. So this activism is very important because most teachers are sometimes religious, sometimes traditional, and they don't believe in including Africa in the school curriculum. So you have to promote this discussion, yeah, and you have to share experience like we are doing now. We have different people here, and we have 8 people sharing experiences. So this is very powerful because then I can understand other different possibilities. So getting together with other people to talk about African culture, African traditions, African heritage, and importance is really powerful. for us. So these are some examples of strategies that we can promote as an ethnic group. And then incorporating African traditions. So we have some examples here. The drumming, many people talk about instruments and the beats of Africa that are really powerful. So there are lots of rhythm and styles too. Even in Spotify, you can do this. If you put Nigerian music, Senegalese music, Beninese music, or Swahili language, and then you will find songs in Yoruba, in Swahili. You can search by language, you can search by country, you can search by ethnic group, not only in Spotify, but also on YouTube. And you will find lots of different rhythms, yeah? Dance, the same. I was talking about Jongo, Samba, but of course, there are many others that you can appreciate and learn. Marianne, did you raise your hand?
Yeah, teacher, when I have my hair, my hairstyle,
Yeah, hairstylist.
It's come from Nigeria.
Wow.
And when I made my hair, we listening these songs about her country. It's amazing because she talk Portuguese, but when we meeting another person in this her country, he talking the language, another language, and I listening. Oh, I can understand nothing. It's my experience for my hair list.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but my reality, that's right. Excellent. Very powerful experience. It's beautiful to have this opportunity. Beautiful and potent too. So you have the cuisine, another point, fashion, and many others. These are just 4 examples. But if you talk about, I love philosophy, for example. So I can study the philosophy of Ubuntu. What does it mean? What are the principles of Ubuntu? What can we do? How can I apply Ubuntu on my daily life, on my job, in my family, in my studies? Yeah, so you can swim in African culture. Wow, beautiful. Thank you for sharing, Sabrina. I will look into that. Amazing. And then we have just one more because our time is up. So the last slide is just talking about the importance of Africa Day. So cultural preservation, as we said, empowerment, because you get back to your origins, and social change, because you will not be guided by what white people are saying, but what your culture says, your ancestors say, your traditions of Africa say. So you change your paradigm. In English, we call paradigm shift. In Portuguese is mudança de paradigma. This is very powerful movement. So let me put here this vocabulary. Paradigm shift. Let me put paradigm shift. Okay. A paradigm shift when you change your perception about reality. So it's a very potent movement. Yeah. And then in the chat, oh, the link. Thank you so much, Lisandro. Lisandro puts New York Times about how American music was born, the African roots of American music. Really powerful. People, that's it. It is 6:02. Thank you so much for the sharing. And if you have the time, I would like you to write a paragraph in English about the importance of Africa Day. A paragraph can be small, just 4 or 5 lines. If you want to practice more, you can write more, but write a composition, write a text, write a paragraph about the importance of Africa Day in your opinion, okay? So this is going to be the homework. Yeah?
Teacher,
Mhm.
will we share this homework in a classroom?
Yes, Google Classroom. Yes, I will put
Okay.
there, okay?
Okay, thanks.
Thank you so much. So see you next Thursday. I hope you have a great evening and good weekend too.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you,
Good next
teacher.
class.
Thank you, guys.
Good night.
Goodbye.
See you.
See you.